Joining us now is film critic Dale Pollack. Good morning, Dale.
Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Star. Good to have you with us.
Good morning, and I just wanted to ask you, what did you think about the movie The Iron Claw?
Well, I wanted to like this film because I was a huge wrestling fan as a kid. And I remember this move, the claw, which was pressed down on an opponent's face very well. So I was really excited to see this film, but I have to say it disappointed me. There's some good moments, but otherwise it's just kind of dull and predictable, and that's not what you want from this kind of a saga. And Zac Efron really pumps himself up. He looks incredible. He has very little to do. And that also just kind of hurts the movie. And then you're asked to believe that Jeremy Allen White, who is 5'7", shorter than I am, becomes a champion wrestler. That just strains the credulity of this film. And ultimately, it tries hard, it just doesn't succeed, and it's not even that entertaining, which is, if you can't get an entertaining, phony wrestling movie, I don't know what you can turn to.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of real phony wrestling on television, and which is probably more entertaining than this film, it sounds like.
And this does not tear the curtain off. I mean, it's all rehearsed, and yet people can still get hurt. That's not the issue. The issue is how compelling is this family drama, and ultimately it fails in that regard.
Okay. Dale, there are a lot of people who are here who are really curious to see what your popcorn rating is on this one. What you got?
2 popcorns.
Okay.
Just doesn't succeed for me on any real level.
Okay. Is the production quality, was it good in this movie?
Yes. Yes, it's very good. You're plunged back into this world. It just doesn't take you to an interesting place.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, Dale. Let's move on to our next one. Migration. This is in theaters.
Yeah, this is a new animated film from Illumination Entertainment, the people who do the Minions films. And it's about a family of ducks who have an overprotective father. And ultimately, they talk him into following a Jamaican parrot into a migration south. Now, that doesn't sound too exciting. What's really good in this film is the animation, which is terrific, and the humor, which is very sly, very droll, not always laugh out loud funny, but very tuned to the characters and their internal humor. Kumail Nanjiani is the dad. Awkwafina plays a really put-upon pigeon. She almost steals the film with her voice. Danny DeVito is also very good with his voice. So this is a very entertaining film. It's not on the top level of Disney or Pixar animation, even though those films have been disappointing this year. This is one of the better animated films. And if your kids have already seen Wonka, take them to Migration.
Okay.
They will not be disappointed.
That sounds great. What was your popcorn rating on this one, Dale?
3 popcorns.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you say the quality of the animation, Pixar and obviously Disney kind of set the bar for everything, but are the other studios, are they really bringing their game like this one?
They are, even though the animation is not as detailed and as sophisticated as it is in the Disney and Pixar movies, because they kind of pioneered in this field. But this film looks great. And, when you're doing this kind of an animated film, the actual animation style is not as important as the pace of the movie. And this film is well paced. It goes to its conclusion efficiently, and it was very enjoyable.
All right. So I know I'm a fan of this one coming up, but what about you, Dale? What about the final season of The Crown on Netflix?
Well, I know a lot of people have dumped on the final season of this series, and I don't agree with that. I think this show ends at 6 seasons on a very strong note. A lot of it is due to Elizabeth Debicki, who plays Princess Diana in this season. But Imelda Staunton really comes into her own as Queen Elizabeth. It's quite a touching portrayal. And the person who plays William, Edward McVeigh, a young actor I was familiar with, does a really terrific job as the teenage Prince William, who's growing and knowing that someday he will be king. Everybody has opinions on this series after 6 seasons. Some people hate it, some people love it. I'm in the love it category, especially because I think it ended on a really strong note, and I wasn't sure it was going to be able to do that. once Princess Diana died in the first half of the last season, where was the story going to go in the second half? And it went into very satisfying, dramatic wrap-ups for all the relationships in the series, particularly the one between Queen Elizabeth and her husband, played by Jonathan Pryce, Prince Philip. So I just found this ultimately an engaging movie, moving, and really a series you can go back and watch multiple times because the acting is so good, the writing is superior, the direction is very cogent, and this just, to me, is one of the best series Netflix has run in its history, and I'm not surprised it's racked up a huge audience.
Okay. You know, my wife loves this, Dale, and I haven't given it a chance yet. You may have convinced me to take a look. What was your popcorn rating on this?
4 popcorns. I think
Okay,
it's one of the
terrific.
best that the streaming era has produced.
That's
All right. Well,
high
thank you so
rating.
much, Dale. And here are those titles one more time. The Iron Claw, which is in theaters, and Migration, also in theaters, and the final season of The Crown on Netflix.
Don't forget, there are 2 ways to watch Dale's reviews. You can check out the Movies in Review playlist on WXII's YouTube page or visit DaleandPollock.com.